You know what? TGIF, baby. I'm kicking back. I'm smoking a cigarette after work. Look who I got, boys and girls. If you don't know him, look him up because you're going to want to know who the F he is because we're in a pot with Kincaid and my very special guest, the dog, Ray Pittman. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on, Don? How you doing, man?
Hey, we're doing good.
We're hanging, bro.
Yeah, man. We're hanging out. We're having some fun. We're going to talk to the dog, Ray Pittman. Let me get some volume, make sure my notifications up because I'm not that bright. We all know that Kincaid's not that bright. So that's turned off. And what I'd like to do is we like to kind of hang out and just talk like a couple friends, but we're talking to the fans and having some fun doing it while we learn about one Ray Pittman because I don't know a whole lot about Ray Pittman. I've only met you really, in all honesty, I've met you once, but I've seen you perform twice. So this is going to be cool for me. So welcome to the show. I'd like to start with the dogs are out.
Right, I got it for me. They're around. They're around all the
time. So what I'd like to do is start with everything going on. We got the whole virus and shit going on in the world. Yourself, your family, your friends, all of that. Your circle are good, my friend.
Oh yeah, we doing good, man. I mean, I had my aunt passed away sadly, and my high school coach passed away sadly. But as far as like everything else, everything's been good, up and up. You know, people's been healthy. Well, I've been working out. My daughter's great. My grandparents are great. My mother is great. Father's great. Everybody great. Everybody.
Oh, I'd like to start with my condolences for the ones that were close to you. But I also want to say, thankfully, that most of your family and friends are intact and well because it's a tough time out there, my friend. So
yeah, man, that's all I can ask for, man. Honestly, like I'm just grateful that everybody is really still here. That's really it. Like, that's all I can do.
That's it, man. We just keep moving on, and I'll tell you, man. I spoke at the top that I've only seen you perform twice. We're going to talk about both of those. I've only really got to speak with you out of the ring one time, but man, what a hell of a day we had there, baby.
Yeah, that was fun, bro. That was
fun. So what I'd like to do is, because I don't know how well you're known to the people that watch the show, and I got to let you know, I hope it's just not my dad and his dog Jake that are watching this program. I apologize if it is, but hopefully we can get some friends to check it out. I apologize. But what I like to do is we like to get new eyes on our fine talent that we meet time after time because there's so many people in wrestling. You can never meet them all. And I'm telling you, man, meeting all you fine men and women, it's been amazing and a privilege for me personally. So that's what we like to do is get to know you a little bit, get some more eyes on the talent, some of the promotions you work for. So we just kind of hang out and talk some wrestling. Are you ready for some of that goodness?
Yeah, man. Man, I'm always ready, bro.
All right, man. Well, this is the first time we've had Mr. Pittman on, obviously. So I'd kind of like to get a little background from you to kind of start us off here. We like to talk about character and evolution of character, and that fascinates the shit out of me as a fan. So let's kind of start there. And I know there's many other general questions, if you will, but I'd like to start with your character. You are, you come out and you do your barking thing. You make sure everybody, I think, now tell me if I'm wrong. Do you do that to kind of gain a little spotlight on you to make sure the fans know you're there?
I do. I actually do that because, it's something that I really picked up over the course of my life. Like I was an athlete all my life. Me being in the gym, me being on the field, I had to be the dog. So that's me bringing the dog to the wrestling scene of like how I ran my life. How my life was, how my life been growing up. And plus, I like to hear the kids do it because when the kids do it, it's actually pretty fun. Like it's actually pretty funny. Like. I like it.
It is. You have a beautiful smile, my friend. You come out when you come out the curtain. You have a lot of fun with us, the fans. Now, how long? Because I don't know how long you've been in the business. So could you talk about how long you've been in the business right now, sir?
I've been only in the business, what, 2.5 years now? 2 years?
Now, having such a young career, and I didn't expect it to be much longer than that, to be honest with you, because I try to keep my eye on the pulse, and I know a lot of men and the women around my area. I'm from Connecticut, so me and you, we've got a little bit of distance between us,
Yeah,
if you will. Because
yeah.
are you out of New Jersey, my friend?
I am. I am.
Okay. Now, the character, the dog, Ray Pittman. Did you have help bringing that to the table, or did you kind of come up with it on your own? Because, like you were saying, you kind of brought your own lifestyle within the character. And on here, I like to kind of talk that when you take stuff from your own life and add it to your wrestling character, it seems more comfortable, and you can
Mhm.
kind of work with it a little bit more. Am I correct on saying that?
Yes, yes, that is correct. Honestly, like it's like I brought the dog character out because like it's like that's really what I know. You can't go around. It's really you can go around faking and acting, but it's really easier to like put two and two together when you have to be a character. What's something that you know the most? I know sports the most. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I got it from, pretty much. Actually, watching Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Odell Beckham, yeah, picked it up from them too. Honestly.
Wow. So not only wrestling influences, but you have sports influences that you kind of work with as well.
Definitely, definitely. That's
Wow.
really where I got it from. Like I play, like I said, I played football all my life, so I played sports all my life. I watched basketball all my life, baseball, football, everything. In every sport, I seen one dog, at least one, if not five. It's like, so, you know, so I got it from them.
Now, what position did you play when you were in football?
I played everything on defense and offense. They put me in high school. They put me in on offense when they needed me to hit somebody, pretty much. So like fullback or like a pulling tight end, whatever. But yeah, I was really a defensive guy. Really outside linebacker, strong safety, a little bit of corner, but really outside linebacker, strong safety.
Wow. I'm not too much of a football guy. I know the rules, I know the positions and all of that, you know. I definitely appreciate the sport. Yeah, guys are crazy. You're off your fucking rockers, my friend.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we are.
But in a good way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, uh, you obviously follow many a sport. With everything that's going on, especially without being able to be in the ring. Let's take the ring portion of your life out of it, and all of the sports you follow and grown up with. You've got to be going absolutely crazy with no sports. We are
Hey,
shut down.
bro, when it first happened, I went nuts. I was going crazy when it first happened. I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be NBA finals. Is this gonna drag to the NFL, MLB just shut down, hockey shut? I'm like, oh man. Without ESPN, like without something like a highlight from sports every day, I started going crazy. But then I started watching like reruns and stuff like that when it came with the last dance with the Bulls. That was interesting for me. I got to watch a couple of reruns on NFL replay. So yeah, I was cool, cool with it after a while. But wrestling matches, that's every day on YouTube. So
Uh, could you just touch upon real quick, like because I did not follow that Jordan story that they put. It was a 10-part docu series. Is that correct?
I believe so, bro. I only watched like 3 or 4 episodes because like it started getting long, and then stuff on Netflix started coming out. Like I recently just started watching One Piece again, so like
Now the wrestling, I'd like to kind of jump back into there. You're watching wrestling daily. What are you going to on YouTube? Is it independent? Is it the higher platforms? What are you watching on YouTube?
Well, I'm watching pretty much everything. Like I watch WWE, from like the 90s and the 80s. I go back then because that's what my trainer told me to do. Like he said, if you really want to be great, go back further and further. So I said, okay. So I watch those. Then I watch a little MLW, Impact. I try to get some Ring of Honor on YouTube in.
Mhm.
Then I just do other indie shows. I watch other indie shows that pop up on my I guess like a YouTube timeline. So I probably I watch a couple of those and stuff like that wherever they're at. I've really been watching a lot of Tito Santana lately. I think that's been the most that's been coming up on my timeline. Tito Santana, yeah, a lot.
Now, what draws you to see to watch Tito Santana in his matches?
Well, when it first started popping up on my timeline, I was just like, I see this guy in the locker room a lot, and I only watched one of his matches. Let me see something, and it was him versus Ted DiBiase, and I loved it. Then I watched him versus Greg Hernandez, I think his name was. I loved it. Then I watched him versus Macho Man. I loved it. I'm like, oh, okay, I like this guy. This guy, he's doing something. But now he's really interesting. His moves, the stories he tells or they tell in the matches, it's pretty good. It was really good. So I watched him, and then I've watched Ricky Steamboat. I watched him a few times too. Yeah.
Now, when you're growing up in the wrestling portion of your life, what were you growing up with? Who were the personalities that you're seeing on TV as you're really getting into wrestling?
Stone Cold and The Rock. Those are the two guys I really looked up to a lot. Stone Cold and The Rock. The Undertaker and Triple H might have been my favorite villains at the time because of the corporate ministry. Those might have, and then DX was bugging out, and then so
you know what? I've heard people talk about DX, but I've never heard DX bugging out. That is perfect. That is such a perfect description because those guys were, dude. That's exactly what they were doing.
Like,
anything they wanted, man. It was like anything they wanted, they were doing it.
Yeah, man. Those guys, like, that stuff really made me really watch wrestling, And then Chris Jericho came in 2001, and I was like, okay, yeah. So it's like, those guys really made me really stick to wrestling. And then I stopped. I stopped after high school because I went to college, my roommates, and then I really focused on football. But I'm so happy to be back, man. I'm so happy to be back, yo. The fans, you guys, Don, people like Don, it's great to be around you guys, man, for real. For real.
I love those words, my friend, because what I've also learned over the course of these interviews, myself and a lot of fans that I know, we go to wrestling to get away from the bullshit. It's a little therapy, if you will. But I also find that the men and women that are performing in the ring, may it be an announcer, a referee, even a bell person, a timekeeper, the sound person, it doesn't matter. You guys and girls, you all do the wrestling thing. I mean, obviously you love it. You have a passion and all of that good stuff, but you also use it for a little bit of therapy yourself. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, you are. Because, bro, like, when that's what I use football for. I use football to get away from the racism, the bad stuff that happened in the world, like killing and stuff. I used football to get away from, because it was a peace of mind for me. You know what I'm saying? Playing sports with kids, it was like playing sports with other kids. I was at peace. Like, I was at peace of mind. I was in my own world, and it was great. Then when I had to stop playing because I felt like, because I had my child, so I had to, really grow up. So, when I stopped playing, it was like I was going crazy. So then when I got back to wrestling, as soon as I hit the mat, I was back to it. As soon as I came back, as soon as I come out the tunnel, fans is there. It's like me coming out the tunnel in football and the crowd going crazy, ready to see a show. I'm just back to it. Like, it's just all muscle memory, I guess, bro. Like, I don't know. I love entertaining people, whether it be in sports or sports entertainment. Like, it's just great. you know?
I am so glad that you just correlated something that I talk about on this show a lot, because hearing us, the fans, as a wrestler is something that you learn, but it's not usually something you pick up right away in your wrestling career. Sometimes it takes 3, 5, 7, 10 years. Even you never know. I talk to many people that I still kind of don't hear the crowd all the time, So it's a learning process. Now, you correlated football with wrestling by coming out the tunnel, by coming through the curtain. So you already kind of had that established with that connection with the fans. So my question is, when you started, after you got done training, and we're going to talk about that, once you got done training and you start coming out and performing, coming out to that curtain, are you already hearing us, the fans, with the adulations and what we're saying and our chants and stuff and feeding off of that? Or did it take you some time to kind of read us and get used to that?
Honestly, my first match was in 2018. So my first match, I was nervous, bro. Like, I was actually really nervous, like, because I didn't know if it was gonna be the same. Like, coming out the tunnel to play football, you got 30, 50, 40 other people with you. Then it's either you by yourself or you and 2 or 3 other people. It's not the same. But like, after the first time, the crowd didn't know who I was, but after they seen the athleticism and seen what I could do, then they started to get behind you. And then the next time you come, then they want to see you again. And that made me feel comfortable with coming out because the fans made me feel comfortable. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Nice.
I didn't have to feel nervous anymore about what I was doing, because I know that eventually, or some of the things I was doing, they was going to like, you know. And then the more stuff that the more stuff that they like, I just want to add on to it, keep adding on, so they could really like gravitate behind what I'm doing, where I'm getting at, you know. That's all I've been doing is training, like trying to get there.
Well, I will say we're seeing it firsthand right now with the element of the fan not being there right now. I know they have, like 20 people hanging around the outside, and it is what it is. But we are seeing right now the difference with the element of the fan taken out of the equation. And I like to call it the dance between the wrestler and the fan, because it really makes everything happen. Without one or the other, I mean, wrestling is very different, my friend,
Yeah.
When you're turning on the TV to check out the WWE or AEW or what have you, are you feeling a little funky without that fan presence? Are you still able to watch the current product?
Like I do feel a little weird about it, but it probably can't just be me. It's probably the wrestlers that's performing. Like, honestly, like, because like when you come out the tunnel, when you come out the entrance, and they hear the beat, the chair hot, like that's what gets it started. Like, that's what gets it going. You know, whether it be a chair or a boo, it gets it going. You know, now you're just coming out to your song, and then there's nobody there. You got to imagine that they're cheering or booing and stuff like that. It's a little harder, but you can still get the job done, you know. And it shows that when they do watch it, you're getting good, like, reviews on it. So, like, when the fans are able to come back, which I can't wait for, like, it's gonna just make it so much better. Like, it's gonna be like a happy reunion, the fans and the wrestlers. Happy reunion. I can't wait.
Neither can we, my friend. Holy caroli. Now, I do want to touch upon, I had the honor and the privilege of filming a match that you were involved in that had 0 fans. And we're going to definitely get into that. But I want to kind of bring it back a little bit. I'd like to know, who's your trainer? What promotion were you training in? And where's your home base right now as a promotion?
Okay, my promotion in the home is the same thing. ECPW, East Coast Professional Wrestling, with Gino Caruso. The guys that train me out of there, pretty much everybody, but the 4 main guys that really had my back, like, and I gotta say that really like it, or really 5. It was Prince Akhenaten, I gotta name him first. Tristan Law, Dirtbag Dan, Crazy Ivan, and my man's the Graysons, Justin. You know, he had my back too. Like, every time I came in and I seen Justin and Spencer from the Amazing Graysons, they always showed me love, always showed me something new. Showed me, if I know how to do something, they showed me how to do it, and I pick it up, you know. And then they make me keep practicing repetition. It's just like football practice. So it's like, you know, I really respect those guys, and I love those guys I really love those guys, man. I love Kenny Bangle too. Kenny Bangle, Corey Dillinger, you know, Sonny Kiss, you know, I love all those guys because I look up to those guys, you know, because that's where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sonny Kiss in the AEW, Corey Dillinger and Kenny Bangle, they out doing their thing, you know, growing. You know, my boy Tony Vega, you know, me and him went to elementary school together. We was the only wrestling fanatics. Facts, bro. We was the only wrestling fanatics in our class, and we here doing it together. Like, That's dope to me, like, and I just want to be where they at in the level, and I just try to strive to reach like where they're going, That's just it.
Uh, you have named some fine talent right there in those 6 or 7 names that you just mentioned, and I know all of them, but I'm very, and I mean, whew, I'm very familiar with Dirtbag Dan. If you notice, I'm wearing a little Filthy
Yeah.
Family merch.
Yeah.
Me
That's
and
my
Mr.
bro.
Me and Mr. Dirtbag, we have a little history. Some is a little rocky, some is very good. He likes to scream and swear at me. It's a kind of a weird relationship we've got.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird relationship we've got going on. But I will tell you one thing, my friend. I love Dirtbag Dan to pieces, and back, if you will. I love that guy so much. I've said that to me, as a fan, from because there's a line that's drawn, an invisible line between fan and wrestler into that
Right.
world, if you will. Now,
Right.
I've always known not to step across that line or whatever. And little by little, you find men and women have invited me across that line. And it's been an absolute privilege. Dude, just talking about that shit makes my hair stand up on my skinny little arms, because I just feel privileged that not many people get to cross that line, and you men and women, you let me get into your world of wrestling, and I'll always appreciate that. But as I've crossed that line, I've seen Dirtbag Dan from a distance behind the curtain and inside that ring, and my man, that dude could lead a locker room anywhere he goes. He's a veteran. He speaks knowledgeable. He always tries to lift everybody up, may it be a promo or what they're doing in the ring. I love Dirtbag Dan to pieces. Now, I'd like to jump into something now that we've talked about Dirtbag Dan. I'm going to talk about the second time I've seen you perform, and then we're going to go back to the first time. The second time I seen you perform, it was in an undisclosed area, and it was supposed to be Dirtbag Dan versus Ryan Frost for Ryan Frost Battlefront Pro Wrestling Extreme Hardcore Championship. Now, little to my knowledge, because I was invited to film this match, and I have been stoked because it was actually supposed to happen in my fucking backyard, and shit went south. Yeah, imagine that. That was going to happen in my backyard, bro. So shit went south. We were supposed to have, we were going to take the May 9th event, scrap it, but still keep the Hardcore Championship, and we were calling it Ryan Frost versus Rebecca Payne versus Dirtbag Dan in a triple threat at the DK Wasteland. That's what we call this place, is the DK Wasteland. So it would have been off the charts fucking crazy. I would have loved it. But you can't get everything you want. So we had to move it to a later date. And lo and behold, it was even better because we didn't get one match, but we got 2 matches. And that's what I'm getting at, is a surprise match that I had no fucking clue that was coming my way. And it was Big Cal Stevens, used to be part of the Filthy Family. That's a whole different episode in its own right. It was Big Cal Stevens versus the debuting into Battlefront Pro Wrestling, the dog, Ray Pittman. Talk to us about how all of that happened, because you flipped my wig, my friend. I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on around here?
Well, first of all, like you said, Dirtbag Dan, man, he's a great guy. He called me. He said, Pittman. I said, what's up? Dirtbag? He like, I need you to ride with me to Massachusetts. I said, for what? What's going on? He said, bruh, I need you to ride with me. I said, all right, man, say that. And then, I get there. He told me, bring my stuff. I get there. And he like, yo, you gonna have a match with Big Cal. I said, word? He said, yeah. I said, yeah. Like, what you need me to do? Like, he like, bro, beat his ass. I said, all right, say that. But unfortunately, I lost. But I mean, it was a great match. Like, that's a Big Cal. Like, to be young, he a big man. Like, he a big dude. Like, he a handful. So, and that was a great match. And I wouldn't mind doing it again. I wouldn't mind going back into Massachusetts and putting on a show for Battlefront again anyway. Like, I want to do that anyway. So, that was good, though. That was a great day. That was a good day.
Now, I watched you guys, because they won't let me lift a damn thing. Because, I mean, I'm built like a kendo stick. They think I'm going to break in half real quick. So they don't let me touch nothing. I watched you fine men put that ring together, do your matches, take that ring apart in record time. I'm telling record fucking time. I mean, that was fantastic. You guys, no joke. And as soon as you guys were done, you're unlacing the boots, you're changing so you can get to work. You guys were just right to it, right off the ripper. That was fantastic.
That's
but
all Dan. That's all Dan.
that,
Like Dan, I've been doing like at ECPW. I do ring crew with Dan. It was me and him one time. We got it done. Me and him by ourselves, taking it out the truck and putting it in the arena. We got it done in about 45 to an hour. Me and him by ourselves. You know
that's
what I'm saying?
amazing.
And, you know, it's always him, and I like working with him like all the time. I like being with him. He's a great guy. While we working, he's talking like he's entertaining. I love that guy. Like for real.
Entertaining is a very understatement when it comes to Dirtbag Dan, right?
Word. I love that guy though.
I'm going to touch upon a quick subject, and I want to get back to this match. Have you ever seen him walking in, and especially the first time was absolute money. He came in and bombarded Dirtbag Dad with a live Facebook thing that he did, and it was absolute money. It could become a fucking sitcom. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Have you ever caught any of that stuff?
Yeah, no, I tried to watch it. He told me about it, and when I went out and tried to watch it, I seen a little bit of it, and then it froze. And I kept trying to flip it, like delete the app, so I get back to it, and it kept freezing at the same part. I was like, man, I actually forgot to go back to it. But nah, the Dirtbag Dad thing, I heard was pretty funny. I talked to Johnny Chill. Johnny told me it was funny, so I gotta see it.
Love me some Johnny Chill. Holy cow!
Yeah,
Love me. The whole Filthy family. I just love that whole bunch, man. Great guys.
Right.
Not that they're the Filthy family anymore. Shit has totally changed in that whole environment.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the Battlefront show. Coming out, because there's no curtain, it was kind of a raw setup. You had Dina Ray, the voice of Battlefront Pro Wrestling. She called you guys out. She actually did a little pre-match interview. But what I'm getting at is, we were talking about the no fans and how you really got to push through that. Coming out, there's no music. It's just us. There's like maybe a half a dozen, maybe 8 or 10 of us at best hanging around. And I'm not doing my regular Kincaid shit. I don't know if you've ever seen my stuff, but I'm a fucking idiot when I'm at wrestling. I am telling you. So for me to keep quiet, both of those matches was some of the hardest shit that I've ever done in my entire life. So my point being is, coming out for an entrance with zero music, zero fans, having to get in that ring, portray your character, and do a promo pre-match. How hard was that for Mr. Pittman?
Oh, it was hard, bro. It was hard, especially with the fans not being there. You know, because like I said, the fans give me my energy. They give me the energy that I need. You know, or they give me the reaction that I want. You know, if I say something corny, then I'll know. But if I say something that they like, then I'm just keep going with it. Like, you know, and that's really like the momentum that I need, you know. But it still went by pretty smooth. You know, I mean, I liked it. I think I could have said better, but I liked it, you know. And D was great. You know, she was great. She asked me the right questions, and then unfortunately Cal interrupted my interview. But it's okay. It's okay, because, you know, next time he won't do it, or nobody else will, you know?
That's right. You always got to keep your eyes peeled in wrestling. Always.
Yeah.
Now,
true.
speaking of Big Cal, I know he's got something on his plate in Battlefront Pro Wrestling. In the near future, they tried to pull it off in July, but it's not going to happen. So they're going to push it back probably to August. We'll see if they can pull it off then. Who knows? But my friend, with what I witnessed and what I filmed at that undisclosed event that we had, if you want to call it that, you've got some upcomings on Big Cal. You gotta stick your foot and put it up his ass and get a W over Big Cal, my friend.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, look, he got the W that one time, and you know, when I see him again, I'll see him again. Right now, you know, it's about getting my name out there first. You know, everybody else, Big Cal was the first one to see that I wasn't a slouch. Now it's the next one. Now somebody else got it. It's somebody else's turn. You know, like I'm not gonna stop till I get to where I want to be. You know, and where the fans want to be. You know, and that's like I want to be at the top, you know. And if when I get there, when I get there, it's gonna be something special, bro. It's gonna be something special. But the only time will tell, man. And I'm gonna just, you know, keep watching, keep learning from my coaches like Dirtbag Dan, you know, and keep learning, keep listening. You know, that's the only way I'm gonna get better. And that's the goal. That's the goal, just to get better.
As a fan, pre-event, I usually get there pretty early at the events. Not all of them, but for a good portion of them, I get there quite early. Like to hang out, do the old, you know, we all respect and love each other. If I don't know people, I introduce myself, tell them what my gig is and all of that stuff. You know, the wrestling etiquette portion of the program. Now, what I love of going early sometimes is being able to watch you find men and women give it a little something pre-event, getting in the ring, maybe working on your match, or just doing a little chain wrestling, if you will. At that undisclosed event that we had, my friend, I loved watching you guys in the ring pre-event, just doing your thing, chaining it around and having a good time. Those type of situations, you feel comfortable, you know, getting a little bit of ring time in there, going through some stuff, doing some chaining and having some fun before you get in the ring and perform your match? Are you like getting in there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get in there for about maybe like 2 to 3 minutes. I won't like probably even less than that because I don't want to like overexert myself for the match that I'm gonna have. But I pretty much like to just hang around, you know, first help with the ring. But yeah, after a while, hang around and sit with the homies, sit with the crew, you know, sit with the boys, sit with the girls, you know, just hang and chill for a little bit, you know, just to like ease my mind, just to keep me calm, you know, so I'm not jittery. You know what I'm saying? And then like that keeps me ready for the match. And then once the match is time to come up, now it's time for me to like exert myself for my adrenaline to start rushing and stuff like that. Then it's time for me to go. That's when it's time to play, like, you know, and that's when I'm ready to go, you know.
Could we talk about your theme music? Who is it? How did it come about? Is it an original theme?
Oh no, well my theme music is I took it off YouTube. You know, I found a little beat or whatever. I didn't want to take anybody else's stuff, so I wanted to make my own thing. So I found a little instrumental. Then I put some little audio stuff on there, like little barks, me talking on it a little bit. You know, just a little something, just to do it by myself. You know, see if I could do it by myself. It came out pretty good. Maybe I do another one like years from now, but it came out pretty good.
And I know you're very young in your career right now, my friend. But I would like to ask, the character itself, the dog, do you see this taking a good run? Do you have it evolving in any ways? Maybe a gear change, props, or your attitude? Because you mostly come out as a face, if I'm not mistaken. Would you be coming, you know, do you have any set goals in the future for your character, the dog at all? Or are you just going to kind of run it to see where it goes?
You know, it's always best to evolve. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always best to evolve. Like, it's better to change with time. You know, if you try to stay the same, you know, when stuff is changing, it might not work out for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I believe, like, that me evolving the dog into, like, different things as years go on will probably be better for me. Will probably be better. You know, because it get like I can give the fans something new every time. You know, and that's what they're gonna expect. They're gonna expect the dog about to come with something new. What's he gonna come this time? Okay, I know he did this already, but now what he about to do tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, that's something that I've really been thinking about. You know, what's the next step with the dog character? You know, what's the next step with the wrestling promotions and stuff like that? Where am I gonna go? Where do I see myself in the next 2, 3, 4 years? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been working. That's what I've been working to. It's been on my mind this whole quarantine, and that's what I've been working towards. You know, trying to figure out. Well, I figured it out, but trying to like put together what I want to do. You know.
Exactly. You know, putting it on paper is one thing, but making it happen is definitely a different.
Something totally different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, in the near future, with a couple-year goal that you're talking about, and you don't have to rattle off 1,000, maybe just 1 or 2. Do you have any specific promotions that you would really, really enjoy to try to get your foot in the door?
I would really, honestly, since I started watching them, and since I started watching them because of Mark A. Haggerty, I really want to
Oh,
get I want to get to MLW, like I do. I mean, Mark, I've paid for Mark's seminars, and
I
they
did too.
really,
I did too.
yeah,
It's the
it's a
best
really
money,
big
right?
help. Yeah, it really is. It really is. It really, really is. And I thank him every time I ask him for, like, every time I ask him questions, I always thank him because what he says really helps and it really
Mhm.
works. And I want to get down to MLW with him. Do stuff down there. I want to go to I want to do another Battlefront pro wrestling match. I want to do. I want to do Impact. If I go to New Japan, I'll go to New Japan. The ultimate goal, though, and I know everybody is starting to like shy away from it, but the ultimate goal for me is the WWE. That's the ultimate goal. You know what I'm saying? That's where I want to be. If AEW come along first, then I'll take AEW. To be honest, like for real, But the ultimate goal is WWE, and to get there, I just know I gotta keep changing with time, keep getting better. Keep hitting the gym. I had a coach in high school, Coach Wembley. He always said, "Character is what you do when nobody's watching." So,
Ooh.
bro, like when nobody's watching, I'm in the gym. Now the gym is not open, so where I'm at, I'm in the house, hitting the weights. Hitting the rubber band, hitting the bands. I'm at the
Mhm.
field because they just opened the football fields back up. I'm at the field, ladder works, wind sprints. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better, trying to up my craft, trying to be better every day. And that's really what it is. Being better than I was yesterday, pretty much.
Mhm. I gotta say that I'm so stoked to hear that, my friend, because with the time off, you just got to figure it out as an athlete and make it happen to be able to progress. Like you're saying, you want to be able to progress from where this whole this whole fucking mess started to when
Mm-hmm.
we can kind of come back. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely appreciate that. You can't be just sitting there and expecting magic to happen. That's for
Right.
sure. As an athlete, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
as a media guy, I don't do. I ain't got to do shit. All I do is I reach out to you, fine men and women, and I sit on my skinny little ass. So I give you guys, and I don't mean this. This is total fact, my friend. I give you guys so much credit because first off, I'm not an athlete, so my hats off to you, men and women that are doing this first off and trying to persevere in the wrestling game because I feel as a fan that it's one of the hardest things in the universe to accomplish because you like you were saying, you're in football, you're with a team. When you're in
Mm-hmm.
wrestling, you're by
You're by
yourself, my
yourself.
man.
Yup.
The
Yup.
spotlight is on you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the hardest things I think, again, to persevere in as an athlete. And I will never not call you men and women athletes. I absolutely will do that any day of the week. Um, but I give you the credit and I applaud you for keeping that routine going while we have this virus crap going on. And I know the
Yeah.
gyms are starting to reopen, but I applaud you,
Mm-hmm.
my friend.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you, man.
you're wearing some pinstripes. I'm very curious. Are we NY Yankees? What's going on with the pinstripes
Oh
over there,
no,
my
no.
friend?
I just like this shit. This is from Forever 21. Forever 21? I think it's Forever 21. I think it's Forever 21.
Okay.
I got this from Forever 21. I am a Yankees fan.
Okay.
I am a Yankees fan. My favorite player is not Derek Jeter. It wasn't Derek Jeter or A-Rod. It used to be actually Bernie Williams. And Jason Giambi. I used to like Jason Giambi too. like
And that
um,
stash of Jason Giambis, huh? Holy cow.
right.
And
What's
Bernie
that?
Williams, holy cow, what a talent
Yeah,
that man is. His
yeah.
guitar playing is amazing.
Oh, he was good. He was pretty good, man. He could really hit a home run too. So like,
Oh, I'm
he was
not
good.
taking the
He was
Yankee
good.
portion of his life away, but I did see him because I'm a musician myself.
Oh yeah.
So whenever I heard he was a jazz player, I'm like, wait, what? What the hell's going on here? Well, not
Yeah.
probably specifically a jazz. Maybe there's so many genres of music, so I don't even want to put a label on it. But I will say it's beautiful music. I enjoy his music. Uh, now for football, and I don't mean to be taken away from the wrestling. Who's your team for football?
Oh, Giants, hands down, Giants, all the way. We stunk the ever. The last ever. Pretty much, but I gotta roll with my guys, man. Danny Dimes, Saquon. I really want them to get my boy Odell back, but it's never gonna happen. So Danny Dimes, Saquon, Sterling, Evan. I gotta rely on those guys. We need a ring. You feel me? Or another one. Make it 6.
It's been a while, my friend.
Yeah. 2012, I believe, 2010. I forget. I think I graduated high school, and that's when we won. 2010. Yep, that's when it was. Yep.
Now, the wrestling that I've seen you do, you've got some cool stuff in the ring that you do, and you got a great physique. You have a good look about you. You come out with some cool tights, and you've got a Ray Pittman with a kick-ass patch in the back. It's a jean vest. What's with the attire? How did you come up with your attire, my friend?
Well, it was just something for me to start off with. I mean, that jean vest is not my first vest. The first vest I had is all black with gold on it. And, I wanted to get away from, like, the all black because I was trying to find, like, another color that I feel like would suit me, And I just went to the jean because jean, like, pretty much goes with everything. But I'm like, I asked one of my mother's friends if he could do, like, some artwork for me. And now he put the Pitbull on the back and put Pittman up there. And I thought that was really cool. And then he, like, made the rips in it for me. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So,
wait a minute. That whole thing on your back is hand done by an artist?
Yeah, it was hand done.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty good at his work.
Yeah, that whole thing makes it. I mean, when you first saw it, I bet you popped like an MFer, right?
I did. I really did. I looked at the front of the vest. I'm like, oh, he put rips in it. This is tough. Then I turned it around. I'm like, oh. I was excited. It was cool.
Now, your name, the dog Ray Pittman, we've already kind of established the dog portion of it. What's with the Ray Pittman? Is it from your real name? Is it from a friend? Is it from a wrestling persona? What's with the name Ray Pittman?
Pretty much my real name.
Okay.
My real name is Craig Pitts.
Oh.
And the Pitts, Pitts, it just always followed me ever since I was born. So it was like when I played football, some of them would call me a pit bull because of my attitude. Like, I was really a headhunter. Like, I really wanted to hit people. That's really what it was. So they called me the pit bull. Then I had my brothers. It was 5 of us in the house. My older brother that I trained with, now he went to Assumption College in Massachusetts. 3-time first team All-American, defensive nose tackle and stuff like that. So I trained with him. He about 6'2", 6'1", 245, 250. So,
Oh my God.
Yeah. Then my other brother played running back. It's just it was a whole bunch of us that was just we was football fanatics, Then my younger brothers now, they football fanatics, So it's we've been doing this for a long time, man. It followed us forever,
Now, we've talked a little bit about your debut at Battlefront. I'd like to go back to the first time that I met you, and it was at ACW. And we are going to talk about the environment. It was at ACW, American Coliseum Wrestling. And I am telling you, my man, that's the first time I've ever seen ACW. A friend of mine, Laura C., I like to call her Sister LC. We have a lot of fun at the shows. Yeah. It was at the Palisades in West Nyack, and I've never been there in my life. What a setup that look. Again, the chills just come running, my man, because you sit down on the floor. That's one portion of it, because they had a band, a stage set up on the other side to where the band was jamming. That was cool. But then you look up, and it's 4 floors, okay? Yeah. And not only is it 4 floors, but it's 4 floors all the way around. And it goes up to this kick-ass, huge skylight with an American flag that's about the size of my house hanging from the roof. And the ring was set dead center, right underneath all of that. And people were all hanging around on every single floor over the balcony. There was a couple thousand people spectating this event. I want to, because I'm a fan. I was freaking a shit. I was flipping my mind just checking out this whole thing going down. I want to get the perspective of a wrestler. Now, not only that of what you saw and the whole setup and all of the people, but there was a little kind of entrance, if you will. Like when you got to the spot, there was a little light set up and you would walk through that. But to get there, you guys and girls were set up in a closed store in the mall. So you would get out of the store, walk through, and then go through the little entrance. Talk to us, the fans. How was it in that environment, walking through and then seeing the setup and all of the people that were there, dude? Please talk to us.
Well, bro, like that was your first time. That was my first time too. You know, at ACW.
Shit.
Yeah, that was my first time, and I wasn't even. I mean, I knew where Palisades was because like I'm 30 minutes from Palisades, honestly. But like yeah, I knew where it was. And I knew where they was setting it up, but I had no idea all those people was gonna be there. So like, right. When we walk it out, right, and I look at the people on the floor, I'm like, oh, that's regular, that's normal. I'm hyped. We about to put on a show. Then I just looked up and I was like, oh. And then like I don't know. Like if you watch Dragon Ball Z, I just turned into a Super Saiyan. Like my adrenaline started rushing. Like I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's time to put on a show. It was a 6-man tag. So that made it cool because I came out with 2 other people. I wasn't by myself. And the match was pretty cool too. The match was pretty dope. So it was like, but just seeing the people, like it was just like it was mind blowing. Yeah, I felt like I was in like WWE, AEW without being in the AEW, WWE. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciated everybody that came out there and watched that show. I appreciate everybody that's watching this show now too. Like, it's like just the fans just made it beautiful. And that's what I'm saying. Like without the fans, it was just if the fans wasn't there, it would just been regular.
Right.
Like, like a regular practice. But like, that was pretty cool. That was dope.
That was one of, and I've been to a bunch of shows. I've only been in indie wrestling since about 2016, like really hard into it.
Yeah.
I am telling you, that was the best and most unique setup that I've ever seen at any show. That was absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait. And I do hope ACW, if you're watching this, you better be going back to the Palisades. I'm not trying to scream at you or tell you what to do with your company, but please, I implore you, as a fan, go back to the Palisades. That was amazing.
That was dope, bro. That was dope, and like that was actually that was the first time we spoke. Like, I mean, we didn't speak at the show. But we spoke like on Facebook, and you sent me the match and stuff like that, and that was the first time I actually like really spoke to you. And then I met you at Battlefront and stuff like that, which is dope too. Like, yo, bro, you're a good guy. Yeah, you're a great person. Like, I like you. You're a great person.
I appreciate that, my friend, because that's what I personally, as a fan, it's evolved into this media stuff, if you will. But I've always told myself, do yourself a favor. Stay away from the drama. Stay away from the politics because it's everywhere in life. Football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, you name it. It's anywhere, okay? You can't get away from it. Keep yourself out of that behind-the-scenes stuff, okay? Stay out of that, but do also one major thing that I always do, my friend. I never talk shit about the talent. I never talk shit about the promotions, and I always uplift the talent, and I always uplift the promotions. I want to get new eyes. I want to get new faces. I want to get people to the shows. I want more fans to come and see what I get to see. Some of the most fantastic times in my life that I've ever had is at independent wrestling, my friend. And I'm telling you, I have a blast every single show. I bring my dad with me to most of them. He can't make them all. He's retired, and he has a blast too, man. We just have, and my point being is, when we leave as fans, we chit chat on the way home, and we're talking about X match. And I know you guys and girls are doing the same shit on the way back home. You're like, yo, blah, 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 this and that. So it's those memories that we remember from show to show to show that always stick with me. And I'll never, ever forget meeting Mr. Ray Pittman for the very first time in that Palisades Mall, bro. That is embedded in my head. That'll never go away.
Yeah. I remember because you hit me on Facebook. You said, bro, that match was amazing. You guys are great. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. Like, it was just out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, he was just so happy. He was just so excited, and that really made me happy, bro. To know that you text me, just random person, before I met you, just random person texting me saying how good the match was, how much you enjoyed it. That was really great. That was a great feeling, bro. And I thank you for that text message, bro. For real.
My absolute pleasure, my friend. And anytime, you know, and I'm hard to when the men. I've been asked a couple of times on the side, what did you think of the match after the fact? You know, and me as a fan, all I can do is pop for it because I'm always caught up in the moment. I don't break the matches down. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that technical fan and always looking at it and breaking it down. I go to the matches to have fun. I cheer, I boo, I do my thing. I'm not there to break down your performance at all, you know? So if you ever ask me, what did you think of the match? You're kind of going to get the general fan response of, dude, that was fucking awesome. I had such a blast. And I do mean that. And it's not like I'm lying to you. I mean, by any stretch of the imagination, I'm definitely not lying to you about it. But personally, I did have a blast. Your match was fucking awesome to me because I had fun, man. You had a 6-man tag. There's a lot of action going on. There's a lot of elements in a 6-man tag. So I just have a blast at the shows, man. Now, could you talk to the fans about being in a singles match and then having to get into a 6-man tag match? That's got to be so different.
It is. Honestly, being in a 6-man tag match, it's easier. Like, it's easier
really?
Because like I said, yeah, bro, it's easier because you're working with other people. Like, it's not just you and one other person, you know, and it's not just you versus this versus this versus this. It's not like a fatal 4-way or a triple threat. Those two might be the hardest ones, honestly. Those two might be the hardest ones. The easiest ones are the tag matches. You know, they're like, you know, because it's a work together thing. You know, I'm this my partner. I know what he's gonna do. So I know, like, it's like you got chemistry. I know what he's gonna do, and he knows what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's easy to work that way. Single matches, chemistry too, but you know, it's still like tough a little bit. Now with the 6-man, that one was different because it's different from a regular tag because you have an extra person on the side next to you. You know what I'm saying? And you want to make sure he gets in too. You know, you want to make sure he gets some time too. Everybody, all the fans can see what he can do, how he can, you know, get the fans behind him and stuff like that, you know, or get the fans to hate him and stuff like that, you know, like it's a little challenging, but nah, the 6-man was it's easier than the and plus, like, you're tired after, like, you know, 6-7 minutes, you know, with the singles matches. But yeah, it's it's pretty cool. Like it's the 6-man is definitely easier than the singles matches. Definitely.
Now, when the fans are doing their thing at these shows, man, when you're walking back post-match, and I know there's a lot of emotion going through, whether it's a win or a loss, but as you know, we're clapping you whether you won or lost when you're walking back. Are you still taking us in? Because that's something I've never really talked about post-match.
Absolutely, bro. Like, because the post-match, that lets you know how good you did. You know, like if the fans like woo cheering and stuff like that, that lets you know how good the match was. You know, if it was like or boo or silent, then you know, bro, we shit the bed. Like we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do something next time. You know, but like the after match reactions are probably what every wrestler looks for. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that boosts like their confidence. Because that boosted my confidence. I know that boosted their confidence. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, the stuff the after match reactions, the text messages from fans, all that stuff helps. You know, all that stuff comes into play. All that stuff is big for me. You know, I like to interact with my fans. I like for my fans to tell me what they want to see me do or what they think I should do. You know, so it can give me an idea of like how I should act for the next match and for the next time I come out for the scene. You know, if everybody's saying the same thing, then yeah, I got to do it. You know, but if it's like 1 or 2 people, then it's like I'm taking into consideration.
Well, as a fan, could I make a suggestion? And it's got nothing to do with your moveset. It's got nothing to do with your look or your attitude or any of that. You are the dog Ray Pittman. and I know you're very young in your career, and you do want to push yourself as a singles wrestler,
Yeah.
but if you ever get the idea that you want to maybe get a little faction going or a little camp, if you will. Maybe you can call it the dog pound or the dog kennel or the something along the lines, and maybe get a little camp or a faction together. I would love to see Ray Pittman be the leader of some kind of dog pound. And I know that might sound a little cheesy, but something along the lines for the dog. I think it would be amazing with a little bit of more character. Oh, I'm telling you, man. It only takes a little bit, and I'm not, and I'm not saying get 5, 6 different guys, just a couple. Now, I'm not saying it as a face. I think it should be maybe. Hey, we all change down the road. Maybe if you do go heel, if you do go heel, maybe that's when the faction can maybe start rolling in, because when you're a bad guy, you need a little backing. You need a little backing back there, especially if you're a champion. You always need that backing.
All the champions have that. All the champions have that. But I don't know what the future's gonna hold, as far as that. But I can tell you, I definitely have a surprise for you, bro. Because I definitely got a surprise. Like I can't say it. I can't say it now. But when we get back to wrestling, you know what I'm saying? I got a surprise for you, bro. I got a surprise.
We fans, I've always said this, we fans are very easy. We latch on to little things in wrestling. And I love the surprises. I don't want to read the dirt sheets. I don't want you boys and girls saying, hey, Kincaid, look at what I got coming. I love surprises, so I appreciate that, my friend. We call that wrestling. Now, for the people that don't know Mr. Pittman, or for the people that do know you and don't know where to find you on the social media, the YouTube, if you have a channel, whatever, could you please tell us, where can we find you? Facebook, Instagram, you name them. You just file them right off for us, sir.
Well, Facebook and Instagram, you can find me at Craig Pitts. My Facebook and YouTube. My YouTube channel is under Craig Pitts. I have another Facebook, Ray Pittman. My Instagram is Time to Play Ray, TYME, the number 2, Play Ray, RAY, and then Instagram, Twitter's the same thing, but Ray is REY. So
okay.
Instagram and Twitter is pretty much the same. It's just the A and the E is switched. That's all.
Okay, now you've said a lot of differentials on your social medias. If I took something, I took a ton of shit away from a seminar, but there was one thing that I did kind of take away from MAH's seminar. Make it a little more uniform so you don't have to separate everything. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I was actually trying to do that. But YouTube wouldn't let me change my name. And I got so bro, I was really trying for 4 straight hours to change my name, but it would not let me change it. I got so frustrated. I was like, you know what? Whatever. Whatever.
Are you doing it on? Are you doing it on your phone or a computer?
My phone.
Ixnay on that. You got to go to a computer. May it be a lap, even if it's a laptop. Use a laptop. You'll be able to get a little further in that process, my friend.
Okay.
Yes.
I never even thought about that. Okay.
Yes. Because I do every single thing on my phone. I don't have a computer. We do have a laptop in the house. So if I do need to do some stuff, like if I had to change the banner when I changed my YouTube channel over, I had to do it all on the laptop. So get on a laptop, sign in, and see what you can do, my friend.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Don, because I've been, bro, it made me so mad. I just you know what? Craig Pitts, guys, just follow my YouTube channel.
It is what it is.
Right? I couldn't do it. I was tired. It's fine. It's fine. Thanks for telling me, man. Now I can go in and change it for real.
Yeah. I would definitely. I think you'll definitely get a little further than you were before. Now, for the company that your home promotion and where you've been training, where can we find them? Could you give us the call letters, the name of the company, and where we can find them?
If you want to find some matches on ECPW, East Coast Professional Wrestling, you could go on YouTube and type it in. ECPW 2019, ECPW 2020. It's gonna come up. Subscribe to it. It's not gonna cost you anything. Subscribe to it. You'll get all the matches from 2018, 2019, 2020, and before that. Because I think I've been watching some stuff. Gino put some legendary matches up and stuff like that. I think it was like Zack Ryder versus Nunzio, I believe. Yeah, I forget who it was, but I was watching it the other day. I was watching it yesterday, but I know it was definitely Nunzio. Definitely, I remember Nunzio from a kid. Like I know Nunzio.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool, my friend? Like, Tessa Strength has brought in Nunzio for, and now Tessa Strength is out of East Hartford, Connecticut, and they have a fine training facility, and then they do their own shows within that facility, but then they take them on the road and call them road events, okay? And I've had the pleasure of being at the Nunzio seminar that they had there at one point, and then he worked a show that same week for him. And it was amazing just hanging out and talking to Nunzio. What a great guy he is to talk to, man. Holy cow.
He's I mean, I haven't really had the chance to actually really sit and have a conversation with him. But I was around Tristan, and they'll sit there and talk, and I hear him talk, and sounds like a great guy. Honestly, like he sounds like an amazing guy. So, I have nothing bad to say about anybody because nobody did anything bad to me. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right, baby.
Yeah, even when I met Greg Valentine, at the Franklin show. He was like, it was me versus Love Jones. That's my guy. Me versus Love Jones, and
Love Jones. Love
that's my guy. It was me versus him, and we was the first match, and our match is so good. I guess the fans loved it. Whatever. We came back. Greg Valentine gave us props. He was like, "Bro, you guys did exactly what you got. You guys to start a match. Now the fans is hot and ready for everybody. You guys did great." And for Greg Valentine to say that, and he was with two other people. I don't want to be rude and forget their names. I forget their names, but I will never forget that day because that was another thing that like boosted my confidence. You know what I'm saying? For my great grandmother before she passed away, we talked about Greg Valentine. So it was like, so it's like, oh, that's pretty cool to me. For him to say something like that to us, like that's cool, that's dope. And it's just I just got to keep going. I met Bull James. Bull James, I talked to him for a little bit, and that was pretty cool. So I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, I like this stuff. This wrestling business is like, this is where I need to be.
I know Bull James is a big guy. I've seen him on TV plenty, in the WWE era. But I'll tell you, when I first started seeing him at some of the independent shows in New York City,
because I've gone down there,
dude.
In person, right?
Yeah.
Huge, bro. Like,
that's a big boy.
Yeah. It's cool. Now he was a good dude too. Like he rubbed me to be like a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't seem like a bad guy. He didn't seem like a jerk to me. And none of them really did in the locker room. None of them really did.
Yeah.
So I like this wrestling business. Everybody seems like they're friendly. Except when you have rivalries and stuff like that. But everybody seems like they're friendly. So like I'm cool with that. I like this place.
Now, I'm so glad that you talked about that story with Greg Valentine of yourself and Mr. Love Jones doing the opening match because I always say myself because it's my opinion and it's not, it's just, again, it's my opinion. I feel that the opening match and the main event match are almost equal, to be honest with you. And I don't care about the names. The names don't mean jack to me on who the opener and the closer is, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're equally as vital because, like Mr. Valentine said, you did your job. Look at that crowd out there. They are fucking hot and ready to continue the evening to get to that main event. So that is amazing that you got to hear great feedback from a guy like Greg Valentine on an opening match because I feel they're a very vital part of the event itself.
Yeah. I believe Crazy Ivan told me that. He said that. He said that the most important matches like of the night is the first and the main event because like the first match is to get them ready, and the last match is like that's what everybody came to see.
Right.
That's the So I was like Crazy Ivan actually taught me a lot. He taught me a lot, just like Prince did, just like Trisha, and just like Dirtbag Dan. They all taught me equally amount. They all taught me a lot of stuff. Like in the 2 years that I've been here, they taught me a lot of stuff, and I have to really thank them and really put them over for that, like for real. I really do.
You've mentioned Crazy Ivan a couple times. I've met him twice. That dude is crazy. I mean, Crazy Ivan. That guy is effing crazy.
Yeah, he is, man. He really is. Like, he really is.
He is.
Yeah, he really
I am.
is. But like I've come from that. Playing football. Like, he's the type of coach that I've seen and played with like all my life. So it was like, all right, Crazy Ivan, what you want me to do? Da 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 da. All right, I'm about to go do it.
Well, I have to say, Mr. Pittman, I feel obviously you are in good hands with the fine talent that you're under the tutelage of, and I know that the future is going to be very bright for the dog Ray Pittman, and I cannot wait. And I really do mean that, my friend. I can't wait to see what the future brings. And a guy who's in his very, and I say infant stage of your career, because a year, 2 years, even 3 years, that's still a very short career right there. So I cannot wait to see what happens after where we're at right now, this virus thing. We all get back and see where Mr. Pittman goes. I am so stoked because you're a great talent. You're a great character. You bring charisma. You bring yourself out when you come through the curtain. And for you to do that, that's what drew me to your character. Again, you came through that thing, and you probably are not going to see me, but I got to do it and stand up. You came through that thing, and you're like, woo, woo, woo. And I was like, wait. I go, who the fuck is that? So you got my attention. You got my attention just like that. So
yo, thanks, bro. That's what I was looking for, bro. That's yo, thanks, Don, man. I appreciate that, bro. Thanks,
absolutely.
Man. Yo, you're really. Yeah, bro, you really gonna keep me going, man. I really appreciate this, bro. Sure.
I thank you for the kind words, my friend. Now, I know we covered a lot of material. I'm sure you've got plenty more to talk about, and I know you've only had a short career right now, but maybe in the near future, once we get some normalcy going on, we can have Mr. Pittman come back and tell us what's going on. Did he stick his foot up Big Cal's ass? We want to know. Does he have a championship? We want to know what's going on with Mr. Pittman. So the invitation is wide open, my friend. I'd love to do a follow-up in the future with you.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm down. Like, I'm down, bro. Like, Don, you my mans, bro. Anytime you need me to do something, just hit me, bro. I got you.
I appreciate that so much, my friend. We have just that one day that we hung out at the Battlefront, undisclosed. Man, I love me some Ray Pittman, baby. He had a hell of a day. That was fantastic. And not only that, I don't know if you've seen it, but I was about to do a promo because I stole Big Cal's hat. I stole his hat. And I did a promo. I put it on a gallon jug of water, and I was going to cut a promo. And then Dirtbag seen me setting it up. He goes, hey, Kincaid, what are you doing? I go, I'm going to cut a promo with a gallon jug and call him Big Cal. He goes, I want in on that. So we cut a promo. It was amazing. What a fucking blast that was.
I was there. I was watching. I'm like, yo, you guys, that was smart. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That's what we do at the shows, my friend. If you ever see me coming up with you, and I know you saw a picture of me with a mask with googly eyes and shit, but if you ever see me coming up here with the phone, I'm always looking for a little something. I get in your face, I get all excited. I love to get the energy back, and we just have a lot of fun. We network your footage so the people can see who Ray Pittman is and get to know you a little bit more and just have fun in wrestling. That's what I'm all about, my man.
Hey, yeah, man. If you're not having fun, then you're just not doing the right thing, bro. Like, that's what you need to do. You need to have fun with everything you do. I mean, you can take it seriously, but have fun. This is like something to you're not working a 9 to 5 no more. Like, this is like your relaxing period. Have fun. And then
absolutely.
And the funnest thing about the wrestling thing, I have to say, Don, is the fans. The most fun about this thing, the most thing that I liked about this the most is the fans, and that's real. That's really real.
Those are some fine words, and I think I'm going to call that. That's going to be the name of the episode. I name every episode differently, and I try to take a little piece. My favorite part of wrestling is the fans. That's the name of this episode, my friend. Mr. Pittman, you were an absolute delight. We got to know you way better. I got to know even that whole day we spent. I didn't want to grill you with all sorts of your background. We were there to have fun and have a great day. So for you to take your time, sit here and talk to us, the fans, I thank you so much for your time, and I cannot wait again to see what the future brings to one Mr. Pittman.
Yo, thanks, Don. Thanks for having me on, bro. I'll come back, hit me up. I'll pop some more, bro. We could, we gonna do this a lot, man. We gonna do this. I like hanging with you. We gotta do this again.
My man Ray Pittman with that beautiful
Hey, shout
smile.
out to
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. I wanted to shout out my bro Mike and Frankie from GoPro Wrestling. They the ones who put me on with ACW. That's why I was there that day with you in Palisades, bro. So I can't forget to put them on, man. I got you.
Hey, you want to cover all the love. That's what we like to do. Cover all the love.
Yeah, bro. All the love.
This is Starting to Pop with Don Kincaid and my very special guest, the dog, Ray Pittman. Yeah.